I'm just a bill, yes I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be along. Yeah, yeah, 'cause I hope and pray that I'll be, but today I'm
Good morning. This is Bill Scher on the LiberalOasis radio show. We are just 3 days away from Super Duper Monster Tsunami Tuesday. Over 20 states. The closest thing we've had to a national primary in American presidential campaign history. And I think it's safe to say that no one knows where this is going to go. The polls are seriously tightening. And we are probably, I don't want to make any predictions, it will probably be some kind of split in the delegates, and the race may likely go on. We'll see if one candidate or another can make a clear victory and prevent that from happening, but it seems like this might continue. And Massachusetts is going to vote. Your vote's going to count because things are on a nice edge. So, for today's show, I want to give you a guide to decide. If you are in the undecided camp, if you are a former John Edwards or Dennis Kucinich or Chris Dodd or Joe Biden or Bill Richardson fan and you don't know exactly what to do, this is my best attempt to look at the key issues as objectively as I can and let you know where I believe the facts lie. I'm not going to give you my own personal endorsement. You may be able to discern it after this is all over. But this is my best attempt to lay out where the facts are. So let's start with the big one, Iraq. I think everyone knows that Barack Obama opposed it from the beginning, and Hillary Clinton supported the authorization for the use of force at the beginning. I think folks generally know that their plans for what to do going forward are very similar. A key point for me is that they both explicitly oppose permanent bases in Iraq. That puts them on the right side, the correct side of the neocon line. They do not embrace the foreign policy objective of a permanent military presence in Iraq. So I think that, in my mind, makes sure I can vote for either one come election day in November. They both support a gradual drawdown from Iraq. Obama says that all combat troops should be out within 16 months. And he said in the most recent debate, I think it's important for us to set a date for that. Clinton's a little more open-ended, though she says nearly all of them should be out within a year. But both of them do not make a statement that all troops would be out by end of their first terms. They're talking about combat troops. And in an earlier debate, they were both asked if they would pledge that all troops would be out by the end of their first term. Neither one would take that pledge. They weren't guaranteeing they would still be there, but they would not pledge that they would be out. One point that sticks in my craw a little bit when it comes to Hillary Clinton, there was a report on NPR from Ted Koppel where he said, I ran into an old source the other day who held a senior position at the Pentagon until his retirement. He occasionally briefed Senator Clinton on the situation in the Gulf. She told him that if she were elected president and then re-elected 4 years later, she would still expect U.S. troops to be in Iraq at the end of her second term. So, I have qualms here with both of them on this point. Even if you don't support the policy of permanent bases, you're not subscribing to the neocon foreign policy objective. If you leave office and you leave some troops there, even if they're not combat troops, they can still be occupying troops. They still can be influencing the political system in Iraq, and that has a destabilizing effect. So there is things to like and things to not like on both counts. And I leave it to you to judge of that set of facts which way you would lean. On Iran, also a slight point of distinction. There was an amendment recently, the Kyle Lieberman amendment, that the Senate voted on to encourage Bush to classify the Revolutionary Guard in Iran as a terrorist organization. That would theoretically give Bush an opening to launch a military attack against the Iranian military under the rules of the authorization of use of force back in after 9/11. And a number of Democrats, including Barack Obama, said that is effectively you are not learning the mistake of Iraq in giving this implicit authorization for a use of force. And Barack Obama, he was not there for the vote. He was campaigning at the time. Some people have knocked him for that. But he did give a statement at the time that he opposed that amendment. Hillary Clinton voted for that amendment. They both say in general that they would have diplomatic, they would pursue diplomacy with Iran. Obama said he would do that without preconditions. Clinton said she would have preconditions. There you are with Iran. Pakistan, another one that hasn't got as much attention. I've talked about on the show before. In August, Barack Obama said he would, if there was actionable intelligence against al-Qaeda in that border region of Pakistan, and the dictator Pervez Musharraf would not act, he would. Hillary Clinton at the time said essentially that was naive. You might be destabilizing Musharraf, and he is our firewall preventing Islamic terrorists from taking over Pakistan. I think recent events in Pakistan showing that Musharraf's opposition comes much more from human rights activists and lawyers and judges, and less so from Islamic terrorist radicals, bellies that judgment on Clinton's part. I think it's a point in Obama's favor, showing some judgment that might cut against establishment conventional wisdom, but I think proves right in hindsight, and he was taking that position when it was not necessarily popular to do so. So that is my foreign policy review.